right, welcome to another edition of Raw Lite on the Real Deal TV network. I am here to give you a very short snippet of what happened on Raw this past Monday. Now, remember, the way I do the grading is 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up, no thumbs at all, 1 thumb down, or 2 thumbs down. So, comment below and let me know what you think of my grading. Do you think I'm on track with it? Do you think that I'm below on it? Am I above on it? You tell me, comment below. But here we go. First things first, we start off with none other than Vince McMahon for the first time in a very long time. But it comes out as Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince all talk about the new pay-per-view of an all-women's pay-per-view. That is something brand new. Then we will see what happens after they do this show in October. Next up, we had the tag team rematch of the B Team versus the Leaders of the World, and B Team gets another win, although their wins are a little more different than normal. They're almost like missteps by the Woken Warriors or the Leaders of the World, and that's how B Team is getting wins. But I still like what's happening here. It's exciting to me. Next up, we have Finn Balor and Chad Gable in the back, although it turns into kind of a silly segment between Baron Corbin and Finn Balor, where he says that Finn needs a better locker room for a guy of his magnitude, although all it was a dig at Finn's height. Gives him a playhouse in order to be his locker room. I thought it was kind of funny, although I'm sure Finn Balor did not think so. Next up, we have Sasha Banks and Bayley facing 2 jobbers. Very interesting. I have not seen many jobbers in the women's side of things, especially not in the tag team side of things, but I am still trying to figure out what they are doing with Sasha and Bayley. Are they going to make them a tag team, which could really help out the tag division in Raw for the women? Or what I really want to see is a turn on one of them. I don't care which one, kind of like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty back in the day. That would be very cool to see. Elias comes out again, and Braun interrupts him. Comes out. We have Jinder Mahal coming out to soothe Braun Strowman. Good luck with that, right? Although it turns into Jinder's crony, I would call him, getting a running suplex taking care of him. Obviously, Braun Strowman's not going to go for any type of meditation of any sort like that. So, to me, I kind of knew it was coming, but it still added the entertainment factor to Raw. Next up, we had Mickie James versus Natalya. Something I wasn't expecting was Mickie James going over on Natalya. I feel like Mickie James getting a win probably doesn't exactly help Natalya's case, although Alexa Bliss did get involved in this situation, so it kind of makes sense as to Natalya didn't exactly take the loss in such a way that makes her look weak. Mickie James had some help is why. Next up, we had Elias coming out again, and he gets interrupted by the Authors of Pain, who then get interrupted by Titus Worldwide, which is Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. Although I really hope something comes out of this because I know what kind of workers Titus and Apollo are. I hope maybe there's a little bit of a feud somewhere here, but Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews do get the upper hand on outsmarting the Authors of Pain. So we'll see what comes of that. Next up, we had Stephanie McMahon, we had Baron Corbin, we had Kurt Angle, and we had Kevin Owens, and we have found out that at SummerSlam, Kevin Owens is going to have a rematch against Braun Strowman. Why would he want that again, right, after coming off the cage? But if Kevin Owens wins, he gets the Money in the Bank contract. So there is some stipulation to this match. We will see what happens at SummerSlam. And next we had Tyler Breeze versus Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley obviously going over, but he did look very dominating. And I'll have to say, for Tyler Breeze, he does a great job selling. So thumbs up to you, Tyler Breeze. You made that match look pretty good, as did Mojo by looking very dominating and looked like he was kicking some ass. Elias comes out again and is interrupted by Finn Balor. Then we have Drew coming out and having a match with Finn Balor, but then Dolph Ziggler gets involved in the match, and what happens next? It turns into Kurt Angle coming out and calling a tag match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor versus we had Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler with Seth Rollins actually getting the pinfall, surprisingly, on Dolph Ziggler. Although I wish Finn would have got this, he would have got the win just because he hasn't done a whole lot in the recent months. But in order to further the storyline of the Intercontinental Championship getting defended at SummerSlam, it makes sense that Seth got the upper hand on Dolph Ziggler. Then we had Ember Moon versus Liv Morgan. I will have to say, very nice match, but Liv Morgan sells Ember Moon's finisher phenomenally. That was a very great finish. I'll have to give a thumbs up to that as well. So nice work there, ladies. And lastly, we had Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley to see who is going to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Although it's kind of predictable, Roman Reigns did win. However, the phenomenal work between the two guys. Didn't really understand the handshake at the end with Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. It almost as if Bobby Lashley has given up and said, yep, Roman Reigns, you are the better man. Tell me whether you feel like he is the better man. I have a feeling there's going to be a little switch down the road here coming up as to triple threat match. I don't know. We'll find out in the coming weeks here because there is still about 3 weeks left until we do have SummerSlam. So there could be more story building coming up. Again, this is Raw Light where I give a grade on this. If I had to grade this week, it would just be a flat neutral. I don't think it did any harm. I don't think it did anything great, although we did find out more storylines as to what's going to be happening at SummerSlam. But like I said, it's still 3 weeks away, so we don't know whether this is the end-all, be-all, or if there's going to be some switching happening up, because as we saw, Kevin Owens now has a match against Braun Strowman. So in the next 3 weeks, anything else can happen. Again, I gave it a flat rating of no thumbs up, but no thumbs down. It's just kind of right in the middle. It's kind of like it's on cruise control. Again, this is another episode with Chris, the Real Deal Steel, on Raw Light, where I gave it a snippet of Raw, and it was a flat. Again, we are Raw Light on the Real Deal TV network on YouTube. Please give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down if you don't like us, I guess. At least it's something. Comment, share, tell your friends about this. And if you want a shout out, just let me know and I'll get you a shout out on Pints Up or Pints Down. Again, another episode of Raw Light with the Chris, the Real Deal Steel. Tune in next week for another edition of Raw Light.